Atlus JRPG fans be eating good. Alright, so the past few days, I had quite a bit of Atlus JRPG binge thing going on, or rather, a slew of events that happened. First up is the Persona 5 Big Band concert that happened in KL, Malaysia at the Megastar Arena. That's at Bukit Bintang, KL area. Yeah, that place where it's like a big ass traffic thing going on in the middle of Bukit Bintang. I had to park at Pavilion and then walk all the way to Sangaiwang. If you want to avoid the little traffic, the heavy traffic that happens in the middle, you're also better off going to Berjaya Times Square and then walking to, I guess the Sungaiwang. But yeah, it really depends on how you want to tackle it. Either way, the concert happened at 8 p.m. on a Thursday. That will be on the 18th of June. There are a lot of major players in the concert. Obviously, Lin was one of the major ones. She was the vocalist for Persona 5's major soundtracks. She was there, she sang her heart out, did Last Surprise, Wake Up, Get Up. Oh, I forgot all the titles of this track. I should just open up the Spotify just so that I have the names in front of me. We also got, let's see, who do we got? Charlie Rosen, arranger and music director. He handled the 8-bit big band, which I have seen at not Mega 64, what am I saying? At MagFest, one of the MagFests. I think he and his troupe actually did perform that at one point. And a lot of other people. I think there was even a blind pianist as well, Stevie Wonder thing going on right there. Really, really cool stuff, yeah. There were a couple of tracks from Persona 5 Royal, but yeah, the big ones are of course Wake Up, Get Up, Get Out There, the intro track. And Life Will Change, of course, the Butterfly song, Beneath the Mask. My favorite arrangement was of course Layer Cake, because that was actually my favorite store music. You know, every time I would actually just grind at the mementos and at the dungeons, the different palaces. And yeah, just buy stuff from the merchant, the guy who sells aerosol guns and actual guns. And then the track just starts out really, really, dreadful. And then it becomes a very jazzy, popish kind of track. Jazz, funk, and soul all mixed together, trio and whatnot. But yeah, everything about that, even the overrated Rivers in the Desert, the one where the song for the senator, yeah, it was alright, I guess, live. But yeah, Last Surprise, Layer Cake, the intro song. Oh yeah, Whims of Fate. That's also the other one. They also played that. That was really big. That was really good. So overall, anyone who loves Persona 5, they're into that. I think I bumped into quite a number of people I know. Let's see, that was Tash Bunny, that was Arif Johan, and a couple of others too. V8 and a couple of others from Ghost Machine Games. Yeah, basically all the gaming guys. Sleepy Godzilla and a couple of Ristel, Lemonade, and a couple of others. Yeah, everyone who basically played these games as JRPGs, or not necessarily Persona 4, but just they started off Part 5, they actually got into that. And speaking of 4, I mean, yeah, the concert's great. Good video game music experience for this year, but obviously because I missed out on MagFest this year, so this one will have to do for me. But hey, I'm very appreciative that we actually get to have a Persona concert, because Japan seems to be getting all the good shit in for Part 3 and Part 4 and Part 5. So it's great that Sega Asia and Atlus Asia opened up and decided to just have the music being played by pros in the jazz scene for video game fans in the Megastar Arena. I mean, I could complain that yes, maybe the acoustics could slightly be better, but it was loud enough and very not echoey. It's loud and presentable enough for it to be in Megastar Arena. I guess if you could get the Philharmonic concert, that would be great, but I think it's maybe because of a cost or venue booking issue. So yeah, Megastar Arena, yeah, it's alright. It's alright, yeah. All in all, definitely a great concert for everyone who popped in, especially for those influencers who clearly got free tickets to get in. But hey, those who paid for it, hey, it's worth the money, that's for sure. I can tell you that, because again, you're not going to see stuff like this outside of Japan for a while, unless you travel to Japan, or maybe, when you're holidaying there, you happen to coincide with the concert dates. Yeah, it's tough. So yeah, I hope that Atlus and Sega can keep doing this, even if it means, giving giving access to people who may be, I guess you could say, they're tourists in the video game, in the whole JRPG industry, you know, whatnot. Like you don't see. I mean, I'm not the people I mentioned. They have played games. So I'm talking about like others too, who probably, you know, like maybe your food bloggers or whatnot, who probably were being given tickets for these, and then like, oh, this is the Persona, a very famous game or whatnot. With all these people clearly do not know that this spin-off from Shin Megami Tensei. If I bring up Shin Megami Tensei, they're gonna be like, huh, what's that? Yeah, there's so many jokes that can actually go on about that, about, you know, people who don't know the lick about Persona getting the tickets, while others who do, they don't and have to pay their way through it. But whatever. Again, great concert, worth paying for it. Hope they do more of this time and again, whatnot. Really cool stuff. I took less photos than I would actually, yeah. Or maybe I was just because I already got spent from another previous concert, nothing video game related. It's a band called Rush. They're prog rock geniuses. They inspired so many musicians since the 70s and whatnot. They're like, again, maybe but I was wowed by that concert, that every other subsequent concert that happens is probably going to be like mid at the very best. But I'm glad to say that Persona 5 big band concert in Malaysia is definitely one to live by. I was kind of hoping maybe they could open up an extra day for people to come in, but I noticed the seats were kind of empty at some of the parts here and there. For the first half, yes, but for the second half, I think people managed to attend, and then I think it was almost full. So I don't think this could be bad marketing. Maybe you don't hear much about this apart from Instagram and, you know, gaming influencers and whatnot spreading the word and everything. So it would be, I would safely say that this wasn't as marketed as well as it should, and that's a shame, because this is actually one of those good video game music concerts that, hey, even if you're just into jazz, you can appreciate the compositions and the boppiness and the work that Shoji Meguro and co have actually put into making these compositions work in live jazz band format. All in all, good concert. Yeah, go for it. If you actually see this happening in your country, yeah, just go for it. Yeah. If anything, Atlus knows how, or at least Sega knows how to, you know, give these kind of concerts the 5-star treatment, getting the right people to play the music, bringing in the original vocalists, and yeah, and just having a show out of it. Yeah, let the music do the talking for people to do the listening. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I should just punctuate this particular segment because, again, you see the thumbnail, it's all Persona related. Yeah, Persona 4 Revival. That's a game, that's a remake that's coming out on February 18. Sega and Atlus pushed out a deep dive into the gameplay on Friday, the following day after the concert. Not planned, of course. I believe this is a separate thing from the US side. So actually showcase like all the new graphics, all the new voice actors, the English voice actors, the new ones. From, I wish I remember the names. I only remember one of them, Brianna Knickerbottom. She voiced a couple of characters from River City Girls and a couple of... Oh, she's Hutao from Genshin Impact. She voices Yukiko Amagi in Persona 4. So is that a good thing? Well, again, I've heard the voices being played bits and pieces in the Revival broadcast, and yeah, they're alright. Yeah. I'd say I want to hear more of them as time goes by, preferably in the full final game. And yeah, I mean, it sucks that they couldn't bring in like the old voice actors like Yuri Lowenthal, Troy Baker, and Laura Bailey, but A, they're super expensive, most likely at this point in time, because they're very high profile, sought after voice actors. I mean, Yuri Lowenthal is voicing Spider-Man, and Troy Baker's doing a bunch of stuff here and there. Laura Bailey ditto as well. And yeah, and of course they got the whole union thing going on. These actors I have mentioned, they're part of a union, and then the ones hired by Sega are not part of it. This has been an ongoing thing in Japanese companies hiring non-union actors to do work and then overdoing what they should be doing and then getting paid little and whatnot. Again, this is like a little sticky subject, which I unfortunately am not really an expert in. I do get people quipping back and forth, like so-called experts and maybe mouthpieces on Twitter telling me that, yeah, the whole union thing is actually putting a bummer on companies, so they have to hire people who aren't in unions. And again, the thing is, these people who are hired, they're not going to say no to a big Sega project, a big Atlus project like this. That's stupid. No. So the allure is tempting, but at the same time, unless you're as established as Yuri, Johnny on Bosch, and many others in the 2000s era, these new actors for the past 5 years, they really have no choice. They need to make the bread, they need to want to make a name for themselves. Having Persona 4 Revival in their portfolio of voices is a boon. It's a boost to your career and everything. So that Marvel took on every other game. Yeah, it's still weird that they're not hiring the old actors, but at the same time, I can understand the allure in maybe doing a reboot. Reboot means new voices and whatnot, so it's a choice. As what I would do, I would just bring the old people back. If I run Sega, I can afford that. I'm very sure I can afford that, especially if it's a game which I know lots of people are gonna be paying money all over again. I mean, you fucking paid money for Persona 4 Golden, you paid for the 2 fighting games under Persona 4 and the music games that came out with it. You're gonna pay for Persona 4 Revival. Come on. Who are we kidding here, right? Anyway, speaking of which, yes, there are actually a bunch of gameplay additions here and there, most notably the combat. They add in like a couple of new mechanics like guarding, where if you're on an overworld, if you block an enemy attack, they'll get stunned and then you can either attack them for advantage or you run away. And you've got like a attack called Send Flying, where you basically just hit one enemy to send flying, and then if they have status ailments, the ailments affect everybody else. And the graphics, of course, are updated. It looks really good. Definitely looks really good. This is a 2008 game, by the way, with a bit of a 2011 release, Persona 4 Golden, using the same engine. So this is like a revamp everything, graphics, the style and everything. And unlike in Persona 3, I think the whole graphical UI changing, shifting and whatnot, it does work, because I believe Persona 4 is a bit more peppy, a bit more uplifting compared to the very gothic Persona 3 Reload. So Persona 4 Revival, there's a bit of it's set in a sleepy town of Inaba. You got quirky characters, quirkier victims, quirkier suspects and whatnot. You got like this mystery, the Midnight Channel going on, the mystery fog killing people here and there. And yeah, you get to go through inside the TV, and then you get to explore different not palaces, zones and whatnot, the different channels, the different stages, the different artwork, deco stuff and whatnot. It's a lot more pretty and a lot more stark and pronounced, that's for sure. So, and having the icons and everything, and the interface being a bit more like you're just seeing through like a CRTV kind of view. Yeah, that's really unique. So yeah, go for it. You got the baton pass. New mechanics as well. You got the baton pass. During a one more, you get to pass to a different person to follow up different attacks and buffs and whatnot. Change turns and whatnot. And Prime Time is the super attack that everybody has. You fill up a meter, you get to do a super attack. You get to be in a different state, an install where basically all your spells cost 0. And all your attacks bypass enemy resistances and deal direct damage. And you get to actually cap it off with a Prime Time series finale attack, where your selected Prime Time character gets to do a really cool move, super move with your respective personas and attack and whatnot. Also, there are some, these additions are really cool and all, but there are also some changes here and there. Maybe the conversations, and dialogue, if you're very, very good, get a keen eagle eye, you can see a bit of changes that may change a bit of context here and there. But what people have spotted so far, at least I've seen on Reddit, are changes to Kanji's storyline, where basically when you fought him as a big boss back in the day, he was holding 2 male signs. In this remake, there was actually a clip where Kanji is holding a male and a female sign, which may signify that he might be changed by. But again, these are all rumors and speculations. It might be a bit weird to change that particular storyline, as well as another one which I'm not gonna spoil, with another main character. So if those get changed a lot, I think a lot of people, myself including, will get pissed off, because those are the 2 core things that get carried through the entire game. That's what made Persona 4 what it is. It's not just a cheery, boppy JRPG. It has a lot of people finding introspective on themselves and accepting the fact that they are flawed. Like the main characters like Yosuke, Chie, Yukiko, they have to face their own shadows and come into terms into how they are perceived and how they are faulted. But if they don't accept it, they die. But if they do, I guess they get more powered up and they get a persona of their own, like JoJo Stan. So yeah, again, Persona 4 is one of my favorite JRPGs of all time. I mean, Part 3, Part 4, Part 5, they're great. But if I have to rank them, I guess Persona 5 is at the bottom of the 3. I mean, third place is good. Come on. I mean, it starts off strong, but then it peters out, and then I'm not a fan of how they resolve some of the antagonists here and there. They don't get much of a payoff compared to Part 4 and to an extent Part 3. Part 3, that set the standards for JRPGs that was social, dating, conversation, narrative, visual novel mechanics. It's a pioneer, and Part 3 on the PSP, I forgot what it's called, PSP 3P, I think. And the remake, yeah, those are all good examples of how you get a JRPG done right in contemporary times with supernatural shit going on. Part 4 is the best. Definitely, again, maybe it's your preference of the cast that actually grades how the Persona games go. So again, my tier list, Persona 4 definitely on top, and I really hope that Persona 4 Revival does not fuck up some of its storylines, or at the very least make them better. And there are many surprises in Persona 4, not just in the social links, but also the main storyline, as well as the golden storyline that combined together. That really surprises a lot of people who played the game. So I think people who are just really into Persona 3 and 5, Part 4 should be the one you should check out. I mean, if you can buy it on discount, like the golden version on PC, yeah, go for it. But if you want to wait and get a more full-blown remake experience, that's also cool too. So you can have a comparison point. Again, if you have 60-80 hours to kill. I clearly don't. So I'm looking forward to this one. I'm basing my memories off comparison based on what I played on the PS2 version. So it's really cool to see how Persona 4 Revival handles things from there. So the game's coming out on February 18, 2027, PC consoles. Looking forward to it. Again, Sega, Atlus, just when you do the changes, make sure they are valid. And that's all I get. That's all you're getting from me for now. But so far, looks very promising. Very promising. Oh, and technically in Atlus news, Musashi, what's it called? Muramasa, the Demon Blade. It's getting a PC and console. No, it's getting a PC port. That's coming out in 2027. So that port is getting a bunch of extra content, new characters to play as in different scenarios and storylines, together with the princess and the guy, the demon sword. And yeah, what's really celebratory about it is that Atlus section, whatnot, Vanillaware, they're finally getting PC games ported for the first time ever. So if Muramasa does really well next year, we might be seeing ports of, yeah, Dragon Crown, Odin Sphere, Grim Grimoire, and most importantly, 13 Sentinels. People need to play Vanillaware games outside of consoles, so I'm glad that Vanillaware are getting out of the whole mentality that PC games are piracy heaven. I mean, if you're careful, yeah, sure. But generally, yeah, I'm just happy that Vanillaware are actually porting their games out to PC. So hell has froze over, and we are all the better for it. And that's it from me, Mr. Toffee. Thanks again for watching this quick video. We're gonna be doing more content like this every week, as well as some extras here and there. Do subscribe to us. So thanks again for the 150k plus subscribers. We truly appreciate it. Do donate to us. Do show your support. Subscribe to us. You got like the link to PayPal and everything. Do check us out. Yeah, we truly appreciate the support. Thanks again, and see you next time.